Welcome back here at Humboldt, where it is a 40-0 Humboldt Cub ball game, and still about 5 minutes left to go, and Eureka has not been able to get in any sort of rhythm. It's been that front line for Humboldt that's really been the difference maker in this game.
Until this drive, they've kind of went the distance here. They had a big 15-yard face mask penalty on Humboldt, which gave them their first down of the game. Then running back Brennan Lowe has been running tough and getting some first downs. Cade Burdin had a completed pass for a good first down. There he, right through the fingertips of for number 16, Justin Zimmer. He's had a lot of that tonight. The receivers haven't been able to quite keep their hands on the football. With 4:43 left in the second quarter, Humboldt leads 40-0, and Eureka is trying to get on the scoreboard to get something positive going, before they go in at the half.
Burdin continue to go out there, rolls out to his right, looking downfield. He'll tuck it in, and ball's loose. And that is the third turnover of the ball game for the Humboldt Cub defense.
That's Tucker Hurst's third sack of the game. He had a sack for a safety on the last possession, and Burdin, he's going to be sore tomorrow. He's had to face a lot of pressure tonight. Humboldt's been either in his face or coming from his backside, and he's taken a lot of hits tonight. So Humboldt will have the ball on their own 31-yard line with 4 minutes and 36 seconds left. From what I've seen from Humboldt this year, they will not take their foot off the gas pedal in this half anyway. So Eureka does need to be ready for everything.
Score update out of the Tri-Valley League. It is Cherryville all over Erie, 32-0 with a minute to go before halftime. It's 40-0 here as the Humboldt Cubs have the ball. And ball's loose, and they're jumping on it was the quarterback, Dagan Goodner. So to bring up second down.
Ball covered up by the quarterback, number 11, Dagan Goodner. Second down.
Well, again, if you're just now tuning in to the broadcast, we apologize for the numerous headaches that we've had. I've been in broadcasting, in doing sports broadcasting since probably 2006, and they always say you need to be prepared for any and everything to go wrong, and this is the broadcast that the instructors warn you about, as a penalty will fly with under 4 to go here in the first. The false start, I believe, against the Cubs. So, I want to say this real quick. We have high expectations on ourselves for broadcast quality and content quality, and definitely this broadcast missed the mark with that, and so we apologize to all the viewers. I know, one of the things that we want to do with this Eureka game especially was we know that there's going to be a lot of traveling involved this season with Eureka fans, and so we were hoping to put together a product that they would be that they could enjoy with the broadcast quality, and clearly we have missed that mark profusely, and I can't apologize enough for all the issues that we've had here tonight, and I hope that everyone understands that we're still got some bugs to work out, and we got a new software that with the score bug there at the bottom that will be a really, really great to use, assuming that it actually wants to work. So, but still, that's on us, and this broadcast is not up to my quality and expectations, and I apologize to everyone at home who has watched and tried to listen and tried to follow along with this game, because we know what this game means to seniors and family members and friends who are unable to make the trip out here, and I know that my apology is probably going to fall short, but again, I just want people to know that this is not the quality to expect for the rest of this year. In fact, as I say, you have nowhere to go but up. So again, apologize for all the technical issues that we've had here tonight with this broadcast. So it's fourth down now, 4th down and 9, ball at the 32, and Cubs are going to punt, and it looks like it is Tucker Hurst back to punt. And is away. A nice beauty. Bounced that around the 34, and it was almost touched by the Eureka receiver, Garrison Spoons. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornado with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 40-0, and a chance for Eureka to get something going. Get them going heading into half.
What the Tornadoes really need to focus on to finish this half is they've got to keep the Cubs off of Cade Burden. He cannot take any more hits like he has been taking in the last 3 drives. And I know that they're trying to, but I think they've got to change some play calling. Keep going with Mr. Lowe. I mean, Lowe looked really good in that last drive, and they're going to line up here. Same formation they pretty much ran all game with a spread. Another bad snap. Lowe goes back. He fumbled. It looks like Lowe recovered it there the last second.
Bad snap.
That is the 3rd or 4th bad snap Eureka's had tonight, and I know what that feels like. Last year, Humboldt did that a lot. They have fixed that problem this year. Everybody in the crowd was always yelling, "Get under center," kind of like we used to do back in the day. We didn't see a whole lot of shotgun. But so here it goes again. The Eureka Tornadoes shot themselves in the foot. They're going to have 2nd and 22 on the 16.
And Burden, you got to give him credit. I mean, he is trying his hardest out there to be consistent, something consistent out for his team, and Eureka will take a timeout. So that is their first of the ball game. They have 2 remaining with 1:12 to go. Zoe Lopez along with David Hart here on the SEK-sports.com broadcast. And again, I can't apologize enough. It's going to be a broken record. I cannot apologize enough for the issues that we've had with the technical aspect of today. And like we said, we have nowhere to go but up. And I promise you, I can promise you this, that this will be, in terms of quality and the technical aspect of it, it will be the worst broadcast we have all year. Here's how it went, just so the way people know, because people rarely see the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean, I figured out a 40-0 ball game. We got to find something to talk about. We had a brand new headset. We get up here, and I didn't test it at home, so that was mistake 1 on mine. Get up here, and it doesn't work. And then we get up here, and the internet's been flaky. It's been in and out. That's issue number 2 on me. And then the new program that we've had, I'm not going to drop names because I'm going to have a nice chat with their technical support and all that. It's been in and out all night crashing. So, like I said, I think this is the broadcasting gods telling us, just a reminder, be prepared for anything. So we're definitely going to take our lumps in this ball game, in this broadcast, and do better. And now we have a penalty, false start against Eureka following the timeout. And that always infuriates a coach. You burn a timeout, get everything in order, and then you come out and have a misstep.
I believe that's Eureka's first penalty of this ball game. I believe it's 5 penalties on Humboldt to 1 on Eureka. So they've ran a pretty clean ball game in that aspect.
So now it's going to be 2nd down and 27. Clock rolling with a minute to go. Burden under center. He's got 2 receivers out far right, and he bounced off. Bounced off his center. Ball came loose, and it's Humboldt with the recovery at the 8-yard line. And David, you made note here earlier that even though they're up 40-0, that Coach Wyrick and the Cubs, they're not going to let up off the gas.
No, that's just not what he does. Now, in the second half, yes, he will. But in the first half, and I agree with him there, each team's trying to get better every week. So the more plays you run, the more practice you're getting, and that's his philosophy. And so Humboldt will try to score here to end the second quarter. And Connor Haviland runs up the middle, untouched from the 13-yard line. Now that will infuriate a coach.
Yeah, and right now you can tell Eureka they are ready to get to half. These young men are gassed. They have been chasing Haviland. They've been chasing Goodner. They've been chasing Hurst. They've been chasing the Cubs all ball game, and they are ready for a breather. And and I want that to be more of a credit to the athleticism and skills in that front line that Humboldt brought up, because they're overwhelming Eureka right now.
Yeah, they have, and they've done that to everybody this year. Look at that. Senior number 68, David Watts, with the 2-point conversion. That's the first time I've ever seen him carry the football. And I bet that was, Coach said, I'm seeing what you've done tonight on defense, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to get in the end zone.
So, and remember, he's had a heck of a game for the Cubs. He's had a deflection, I want to say interception, and now he's had a sack. I mean, now he's got a 2-point conversion. So the young man doing it all. 48-0 is our score now here, as we are under a minute to go before half. And again, for Eureka, it has to be just get to halftime. Just get to the locker room, regroup, catch your breath, and now the pressure's off. The second half, the pressure's off. You can go out there, play your game, play loose, and just go have fun.
Yeah, all they need to do the rest of the game is just try to get better in certain aspects of the game. You know, hey, we're gonna try to run the ball on the right side for a while. You know, the guards are gonna fill their gap. They got to find something to work on, and I'm sure Coach Nichols can definitely find something. And this is one thing that I have been impressed with Eureka is their kickoff return game. They've been getting 20, 25, 30 yards pretty much every time.
So now to bring up 1st and 10. Ball at the 48. And this is a team that put up 177 yards passing against Caney Valley. Speaking of Caney Valley, they are up big over Neota Shea, 35-0 at halftime. So Cherryville winning big over Erie, Caney Valley big over Neota Shea, Humboldt big over Eureka. This is a blowout night in the Tri-Valley League. But let's see if Cade Burdin and his Eureka Tornadoes can switch that up. It's going to be a handoff and a tackle there made by Dagan Goodner in the middle linebacker section. I want to say that was Brennan Lowe on the carry, so to bring up 2nd down and 9 on the carry of 1 with 35 seconds to go. And I think you're going to see Eureka run one more play, and then we get to halftime.
I'm sure they're going to run low right up the middle again. That's what I would do anyway. They're going to put trips to the right. Wonder if they have a trick play up their sleeve. I wouldn't want somebody else seeing that on camera at this point of the game. They're letting the clock run out. And that will be the end of the first half with Humboldt up 48-0 here in Humboldt.
So let's go ahead and David, you've got the notes here. I mean, typically we do a scoring summary and game summary. 48-0. The summary is that front. Again, it comes up to the front line. I'm a former offensive lineman, defensive lineman, so I love me some offense and defensive line. The battle, the trenches. I'm a little bit more keen on that, but this has been the difference maker right from the get-go for Humboldt.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of Dagan Goodner and Connor Haviland. But how they're able to do that so much is with the powerful offensive line they have. And then, I mean, Eureka's defensive line was able to get some stuffs up the middle, so then they had to start going to the outside. And once you get Connor Haviland to the outside, if he gets one block, he's gone. I've mentioned that before. They started the game off with Dagan Goodner on a 14-yard touchdown run with 10 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Dagan also ran the 2-point conversion in to give them an 8-0 lead. Eureka started on the 50-yard line, had a bad snap, and then they went 3 and out. Had to punt. Connor Haviland, 72-yard punt return, touchdown for Humboldt. 2-point was no good, so they still had a 14-0 lead with 8:21 left in the first quarter. Eureka started on the 35-yard line, another bad snap. 2nd 26, and then Mr. David Watts, number 68 for Humboldt, with his first sack of the ball game. They were forced to punt again. Humboldt had a 42-yard flea flicker touchdown from Dagan Goodner to Jackson Akins to put the Cubs up 30-0 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Eureka hasn't had a whole lot of success anywhere in this ball game if you're looking at the scoreboard. But what I've seen is their defensive line, that's a pretty good defensive line. When they play some other teams in the league, I believe that will make a really big difference in the outcomes of their games. So, Eureka fans, don't put your head down. This team, they are better than what the score shows tonight.
Yeah, and that being said, Eureka, to me, in the early going, what's really done them in this ball game has been in that second, third level of the defense, because they're getting hits on the Humboldt ball carrier and the Humboldt quarterback, but they just haven't been able to wrap up. They've been doing arm tackle and outstretched arms, and Humboldt's too fast and they're too strong for you to do that. You have to wrap up and go for the legs and take them down. And I hope to see that second half adjustment for Eureka, because now it's a matter of, okay, how are we going to get better? How are we going to make sure that we have a better second half than the first? Because the score is what it is. It's 48-0. There's no sense in jumping up and down and hooting and hollering and all that. It's, hey, let's have a better second half than we did in the first half. It is what it is, and let's get better. 48-0 is our score here in Humboldt, as the Humboldt Cubs are playing host to the Eureka Tornado. And again, we apologize for the first half issues, just left and right, issue after issue, internet issues, program issues, equipment issues. I mean, you name it, this has gone about as bad of a first broadcast as you can get. But thank you for those of you who have sent us text messages on the Facebook page and Twitter to let us know of the issues. And even for those of you who are angry at us, we accept that, and we promise that we will do better the next time around. Definitely a lot of things to learn from off of this one. But again, I personally hold the site and broadcast quality to a higher standard and had really high expectations that we would put together a really stellar quality. Obviously, well missed the mark, but now we got something to strive towards for the next game. So, again, here in Humboldt, it is 48-0, our halftime score. And David, I want to talk about this, and I'll bring it up, I'm sure, in the second half. But obviously, most people know about the Eureka Tornado and what it did to their facilities. And not only does it rob the football team of 4 home games this year with the new 4 home, 4 away scheduling in the districts, but it's also robbed the high school band. It's robbed the student athletes and the parents. Some of the traditions that you see with high school football season, and it has been amazing to see the overwhelming support of the Tri-Valley League, Caney Valley, Humboldt, and trying to make Eureka players, fans, band members, cheerleaders all feel at home. And I say that because last week during halftime, Caney Valley's band performed with the Eureka Tornado Marching Band at Caney Valley. And then the other day on Twitter, the theme for tonight for the Humboldt Cub fans was Christmas in September. And then extended an invite to the Eureka fans and Eureka student fans to join them in that as well. And I thought that says a lot about the Tri-Valley League and the sportsmanship that is preached at all the schools, not just a select few, but all of them.
Well, and a lot of these athletes, they play summer baseball or summer basketball. And when they do that, they're playing with some of these gentlemen or ladies from around the league on the same team. So they know each other, or they might know them in FFA, or track meets. And so everybody should know a little bit of everybody if you're doing the extracurricular activities that the high schools offer these days. And I'm really proud of every Tri-Valley League so far that has extended a hand to Eureka. And Eureka doesn't want people to feel sorry for them. We know better than that. That's the reason why they call themselves Eureka Strong, is they don't need this, but it's still really nice to see it offered from the rest of the schools.
All right, so it is 48-0 here at halftime. We have about 8 minutes to go, and for those who are watching, I'm going to clear out the score bug there, and that way you can watch the performance. So we're going to go ahead and we'll continue to stream live. We'll go ahead and step away, though, and when we come back, we'll have the rest of the second half here, where it is 48-0, Humboldt leading over Eureka here on SEK-sports.com. All right, welcome back here on SEK-sports.com, where it is halftime and about 2 minutes away from the start of the second half, where it is 48-0, Humboldt out on top. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for today's ball game. Again, with Eureka on the offensive side. For Eureka, their front line starters, Braden Rucker, the sophomore, junior Braden Derbyshire, junior Mason McDonald at center, senior Jonathan Turner on the right guard side with Ben Sunderland, the sophomore at right tackle, Cade Burden, the quarterback, highly touted. We did a player profile on him, very talented, just haven't been able to connect on his wide receivers tonight, and as well, he's been really running for his life, so that's been an issue there. For the Eureka Tornado defense, let's get you a look at their starting lineup on defense here. For Eureka, up front, it's Jonathan Turner, the senior, 6'1", 275, Braden Derbyshire, junior at 5'11", 215, and then the defensive line, Braden Rucker, the sophomore that we mentioned just moments ago. Then in the linebackers, it's Zach Hare, the junior, Brennan Lowe, the sophomore, 5'7", Cole Strickler, the freshman, at 6'1", 173 pounds, and then the linebacker, Brent Escarino, hopefully I'm saying that right, I apologize if not, 5'6", 154-pound sophomore. Then in the backfield, it's Quentin Phelan, the junior, at 6'4", 165. Justin Zimmers, the junior, at 6 foot, 160. Garrison Spoons at 5 foot even, 155. And then Cade Larkham, the junior, at 6 foot even at 144. So there's your Eureka starters. Let's get you the quick graphic up here for the Humboldt offense. And really, it's been Dagan Goodner and his cast of characters. Connor Haviland has had a heck of a game along with Tucker Hurst and Jackson Akins, Isaiah Coronado, all getting after it as well. And then quick look here at the starters on defense for Humboldt. As there you see the defense who has so far kept the game shut out for the Cubs here on the home side. So, getting ready to start the third quarter here in Humboldt. Thank you so much for sticking with us. And it is a kickoff to the far sideline, up to the 30. The hole is quickly closed at the 36. And Murrow with the stop. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 36-yard line of Eureka. And let's see how that pep talk worked there at halftime.
What's going to be interesting is what changes Eureka's going to make to keep Cade Burden clean and healthy in this game. They've got to protect him a lot better. He's going to line up in the spread formation again. Another high snap. Then the Cubs meet him at the line. Looks like senior Dagan Goodner in with a tackle.
Goodner, one of the team leaders in tackles for the Humboldt Cubs. It'll bring up a loss of around 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13 now. And Cubs making some substitutions here. As we mentioned, a lot of blowout games in the Tri-Valley. Cherryville up big over Erie. Caney Valley up big over, pass down on the near side. Almost intercepted, in and out of the hands of Connor Haviland, coming close with the pick.
Yeah, Cooper J. Rowe tipped the ball, and he didn't know where Connor was. And so it was going to be a tough play. But Eureka's come out trying to throw the ball downfield.
And bring up now 3rd down and 13. Approaching the 10-minute mark, and said in the second half with this massive of a margin, we're going to start to see that clock rolling outside of timeouts and injuries. Another high snap brought down, pass to the near side, and it is thrown over the heads of the intended receiver. And that was actually intended for Zach Hare, the junior at 5'11", 175.
And it's good to see Zach Hare out here. He was injured earlier on a face mask penalty. The way he went down, I was afraid it was an ACL or a hip injury. Good to see him back out here. As soon as Eureka ran on the first down, Humboldt took Tucker Hurst out and went into the nickel package, and they succeeded, forcing a punt formation for Eureka. Another high snap over his head inside the 10-yard line. He's running and tackled right about the 11-yard line.
Tackle made by number 3, Taryn Johnson.
Number 3, Taryn Johnson with the tackle, and Humboldt will take over at about Eureka's 11-yard line. Not the way the Tornadoes wanted to start this second half.
Short yardage, as if Humboldt didn't need any more help here tonight. They have been the beneficiaries of short yardage situations for a majority of that first half.
Yeah, after the punt return touchdown to put them up 14-0, everything else has almost been given to them. But I'm not trying to take anything away from what Humboldt's done. I mean, their defensive front, and it's just been all over the place. Kyler Allen for the 11-yard touchdown reception from Dagan Goodner. Humboldt putting more points on the board with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. That puts them up 54-0.
And now it looks like maybe was there a penalty? White hat is going over. Nope, they're going to go for 2. White hat was going over to that side, and I thought, well, maybe there's a penalty on the play, but no. Going to keep going. Interesting stat here. First time all year. Now, granted, we're only in week 3, but first time Humboldt has scored in the second half. And now it's going to be a swing pass, far side, and it's good. 2-point conversion is completed. Allen for 2, and it is now 56-0. Humboldt all over Eureka. And now let's go ahead and step away for a quick timeout. And when we come back, we'll get you the kickoff as the Humboldt Cubs lead it 56-0 over Eureka. All right, we are back here where it will be 1st and 10 for Eureka. And David, you mentioned earlier, one of the bright spots for Eureka has been their kicking return game.
Yep, and they have not been fooled at all. Here's a deep pass. Incomplete. They haven't been fooled by any of the Humboldt onside kick attempts. Humboldt did this last year and this year. About half their kickoff attempts, they will try an onside kick, and they've had some pretty good success, but Eureka has not been fooled by that once tonight. So we're setting at 2nd and 10. Cade Burden gets the play call. We got twins.
Shotgun. Burden rolling out, looking down deep. He has a nice high arc caught on the near sideline. It is complete to Zach Hare. And that is the pass that Eureka has been waiting for all night long.
They finally got it. Yes. It was a really nice touch on that ball. Got in between the defenders, and was that Hare? Yeah, Zach Hare was able to come down with it. So Eureka here, the ball at looks like the 18-yard line. Going to try to get some points to start the second half. Humboldt does have their second string defensive line in. Looks like everybody out there is second string defense.
Eureka trying to crack the goose egg on the scoreboard. Burden rolling. He's been scrambling all night, and that one he just heaves up, and it's picked off by Humboldt. Picked off at around the 3, brought up to the 9. And Drake with the interception for Humboldt. And perhaps that's maybe the one knock against Cade is whenever he's throwing it, especially you're going across the field, he's been leaving them up high arcers. I mean, they're beautiful throws, but just leaving them way up too high and enough for the secondary to make that adjustment.
That was an excellent play by sophomore Drake Harrington. This is his first year out for football in high school. He did not play last year. He ran cross country. That was a nice catch to give Humboldt the ball, and Humboldt will start on their own 8-yard line. And after that first possession, Humboldt has let off the gas, it looks like, and they're bringing out second-team offense for the first time tonight, up 56-0 with just under 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
And you mentioned it that Eureka's been their own worst enemies. Anytime they get any sort of crack of momentum, bright light as this one is busted off into the second level, it's going to be a first down for Humboldt. It's been turnovers or high snaps, missed blocking. It's just things haven't gone their way tonight for Eureka. Definitely going to have a lot to build off of going into week 4. And it's worth mentioning, David, this is the last preseason game really for these teams because the hunt for the playoffs begin next week.
Yeah, Humboldt will travel to Jayhawk Lynn next week in a rematch. Humboldt was defeated by them last year. Humboldt is starting with freshman Gavin Page at the quarterback position on this drive. Get a little varsity time. He did last week against Fredonia, too, and he had some success in the running game. Eureka. Let me get to my notes here. Eureka will travel to Fredonia tomorrow to start district play. And we were talking about districts, and I have a little bit of information. I've been spending all year trying to figure out this new classification and district system. And the top 4 teams in each district will get to move on.
Ball number 15.
And the number 1 team in each district will play the number 4 team in the opposing district. The number 2 team will play the number 3 team. It is notable that in the opposite district of Humboldt is the number 2 ranked team in the state of Kansas in 2A with Silver Lake.
So clock rolling to around 30 seconds and another penalty. Oh, no, excuse me. Timeout. Looks like Eureka calling the timeout. So timeout to reset.
Eureka will have a lot of familiar faces in their district. Eureka's in District 5 this year. They'll have Belle Plaine, Cherryville, Douglas, Fredonia, and Neodesha. I believe that's the same teams they had last year. In Eureka, like I said, they play Fredonia next week. Last time I seen, I believe Fredonia was losing tonight. Humboldt starts district next week with Jayhawk Lynn. They also have Northeast Arma, Southeast Cherokee, Erie, and Riverton in District 1 this year.
So following the Humboldt timeout, it was actually Humboldt that called the timeout. Now we get ready to resume play. Ball snapped, and it's going to be a jet sweep with a wide open lane up to around the 37-yard line. Jero with the carry, and still good crowd out here for Eureka and Humboldt. Even though it's 56-0 heading into the fourth quarter here in about 15 seconds, still crowd hanging in there. I'll see probably one more play from the Humboldt offense. And it is with 1 second. This one will be a short pass and gobbled up.
Pass complete to number 15, Cooper J-Row.
J-Row got completely swallowed up, and it is the end of the third quarter. 56-0 here on the SEK-sports.com network. Zoe Lopez along with David Hart, where we had the first half issues and all the fireworks. We missed all the fireworks for our viewers, so we apologize. Still some offensive showcasing here by Humboldt's side for Eureka. They just want to get on the bus healthy. Thankfully, we've been able to steer away from injuries tonight and hoping to keep that the theme for the remaining 12 minutes of this contest. You mentioned Humboldt's district. Well, for Eureka, they have, I know that they're going to start the season 0-3. They have, 1-2. But they've actually got a fairly decent chance at their district with Fredonia, who is in a nail-biter with Leon Bluestem, a team that Eureka beat. Douglas, and then Neodesha, a team that is getting clobbered by Caney Valley. Neodesha, there's something going on there that I would like to know, because that is not the Neodesha team that we all know from Coach John Black. And now a penalty to start the fourth quarter.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
And now roughing the kicker penalty against Eureka. So now it'll be 1st and 10 following the personal foul penalty. But you have Fredonia, Douglas, Neodesha, Bella Plain, and Cherryville. Cherryville is probably going to be the toughest opponent that Eureka will have in their district. So they've got a really good chance. I know the score here, again, nothing to be optimistic about for your remaining games, but if you're Eureka, you like that draw for your district.
Yeah, they got their toughest teams out of the way, playing Caney last week and then having to play Humboldt, who's just been really tough this year. I want to go through a rundown of the Tri-Valley for next week. Cherryville will travel to 0-2 Belle Plaine. Neodesha will travel to 1-1 Douglas. Erie at home versus Riverton, who is 0-2. Eureka at Fredonia, as we mentioned. And Caney at Columbus, who is 0-2. Caney stayed in 3A, where a lot of us, other teams in the Tri-Valley, went down to 2A. So they're going to have a really tough district where they have Galena, Parsons, and I don't remember the other team. It is really, really tough district. And as I said, Humboldt will travel to Jayhawk Lynn for the rematch between those two teams.
Now to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Humboldt Cubs. And it's going to be a pitch to Coble. And it's going to be good enough for a 1st and 10. Zach Hare on the stop for the Eureka Tornadoes. Move the chains as we are running the clock here in the entire second half. So Tri-Valley League starting to shake out, and as we've talked about in our podcast and we've talked about in our blogs on the site, no Tri-Valley League champion this year.
No, I'm not real sure what they were thinking with not enough teams playing each other. I looked at everybody's schedule, and there is. Everybody's playing at least 4 or 5 games of league opponents, and out of 8, that's not too bad. A great tackle by number 55. No, not 55. 56. Mason McDonald. But anyways, they decided not to have a Tri-Valley champion this year, and Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot, I guess. It's just a title of, that not a whole lot of
That's why I'm going to pull the microphone away from you, because it does mean something. It means a patch on your Letterman jacket. It means a banner. It means a year up on your gym. It means you get to go around for the whole year, and you get to have that pride as the best of the league. Don't give me this, it doesn't mean anything. No, that is your worst take ever, David. And I've been with you for 3 years, and I've heard a lot of bad takes from you. But that is by far and large your worst take ever.
No. What most high school teams want, they'd like to win a league title, but that's not really the most important goal for them. They want to win playoff games, and that's how this new setup is. We start district play in week 4, and everybody's looking to do the best they can in their district so they can put themselves in a position to win playoff games.
And a tipped pass almost went down, and got to be careful there. Gave a little bit of a spike to the ball. Could have been a personal foul, but none called. Great defense there by Brent Escarino. Escarino. Escarcino.
I butchered that big time earlier in the first half.
Incomplete pass will bring up 4th down for the Cubs, and this is their first 4th down in forever.
Well, they had
it seems like
a while ago with the penalty, but that was a 4th down. Have you noticed they took the punter out of the ball game, Tucker Hurst? They don't want to risk an injury to him.
Nice boot, fielded at the 28. He's got a lane open on the near side, juking and jiving, dancing around, and brought down. Great wrap up, and that is fundamental.
That was the punter, Connor Haviland, going all the way down the field and had to make the tackle.
Clock rolling, 6:35 and counting left to go here in the ball game, 56-0, and ball game that was never really in doubt for Humboldt. You look at their margin of victory through the first 2 games here, 48-6, 42-7, 56-0.
Yeah, it's been much of the same for the Cubs. What they did have to face tonight, and I've said it multiple times, is a little bit tougher defensive front. Eureka at least was getting in the gaps early in the game and forcing Humboldt to have to go outside. Humboldt did get away from the going right up the middle there for a while late in the first quarter. So they have been tested in certain aspects of the game.
And I'm saying this as a neutral party in covering high school sports here. And I know we've had a pass on the near side is incomplete, as it was intended for Cade Larkham, and Burden is slow to get up and gets help and is doing good. Clock rolling, 5:30. Some people think that we're more of Humboldt-sports than SEK-sports because of the coverage that Humboldt gets, but Humboldt's the real deal because they were predicted to go 8-0 in the Fox 14 KOAM Pigskin preview, and even you and I said, okay. Looking at Humboldt now in person, the speed, the physicality, I'm buying in on Humboldt. Coach Wyrick in his program is a nice air out by Burden, goes through the hands of his receiver on the far sideline. It was intended for Quentin Phelan. And clock will roll to around 4:30, but gosh, this Humboldt team is going to be a favorite in their district, and depending on who they draw in that first round, got to be a favorite in that first round as well.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know a whole lot about the other teams, but one of the teams in there besides number 2 Silver Lake was Osage City. We got to go see them play Caney in the playoffs last year, and I don't know if you remember, but Osage City had like a 5'4" kid as a wide receiver last year that was so good. I read today where he moved to the quarterback position, and Osage City's a pretty good squad.
Oh yeah.
Number 23, Brandon Love.
So Lowe with the carry, and Eureka, their first offense, going out there trying to get that goose egg in. More than anything, get some momentum, regain some of that confidence that maybe might have been deflated in that first half. Again, it's been hard running by low. Zach Harris looked pretty good, and Cade Burdin as well, just missing some targets. Wide receivers unable to haul in passes. Just little things that can make a big difference. As this is going to be a handoff on the near side, and there's the legs churning. And that was Brandon Lowe, just keeping the legs churning and bringing 3 Cubs with him.
Yeah, he drug sophomore Drake Harrington for about 4 or 5 yards on that play. Harrington wasn't going to let go, though. I will give him the credit on that play. Looks like Eureka's going to give Lowe the ball and then get some yards, get to midfield, so Cade Burdin can test his arm here and probably go deep. And there it is. Just out of reach of number 88.
Yeah, just a step inside, missing that throw. And again, those miscommunications, if they can iron them out, going into districts, they can make some noise. This Eureka team has impressed me. They're better than what their stats show. You just got to work on that communication. And also the thing to remember is Burdin is a senior, but this is a young Eureka team overall.
Yeah, we've talked about it. They've shot themselves in the foot a few times. They had several bad snaps, and against a team like Humboldt, you just can't do that. Uh-oh, this is their chance to get the score. A pass to number 16 gets stopped about the 5-yard line, but number 16, Justin Zimmers, catches the Cade Burdin pass. Nice play for Eureka, and that's kind of what you were talking about there, Zoll. Something to build on.
Just that miscommunication finally ironed out for a big gain for the Tornadoes, where it's now 1st and goal and 3 to go. And you can hear the Humboldt crowd. They want to keep that 0 intact. They want to pitch their first shutout of the year. They gave up points to both Fredonia. And a pass on the near side. Touchdown! Eureka! Spoons with the catch. And Eureka on the board with a minute to go. Again, just keep grinding. Carry it out in there. And finally get to see that arm of Burdin. And he's been chased around all ball game with that front line of Humboldt. Now they're going to go for 2 with 45 seconds to go. Burdin, shotgun. High snap, brings it down. It's going to be a quick handoff. Trying to get in there, but quickly swarmed up by a pack of Cubs. And 2-point conversion will fail as we are under 30 seconds to go. Teams will have to hurry to their sidelines and get out there. They may not actually have to kick for the second half or the fourth quarter. That will most likely do it. Eureka's lining up. Humboldt's lining up. And that is the final score, 56-6 here in Humboldt. Appreciate everyone who hung out with us for all of our technical difficulties to see the conclusion of this game. And that is your final score. The Humboldt Cubs defeat Eureka 56-6. So we have, much like Eureka, we have some practice to do, some irons to work out, kinks to work out, iron out, whatever analogy you want to use. But we appreciate everyone sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Looking forward to more broadcasts, flawless broadcasts this year. And a big thank you going out to our cameraman coming up to help us out, David Hart's brother, getting us taken care of. So on behalf of the entire SEK-Sports crew, you've been watching Humboldt football and Eureka football here on the SEK-Sports Network. Humboldt wins 56-6. They improve now to 3-0. The Eureka Tornadoes, they drop now to 1-2. So be sure to visit SEK-sports.com for finals, recaps, and more. We'll have that all in the morning. And recaps are pouring in now at SEK-sports.com. Good night. Hey, can I hand this